Hello and welcome to another of Sethaldor's World of Warcraft guides. This one's going to be pretty quick. I had a question about Fire Mage rotation. I'm going to be hitting a level 85 target dummy as note, and I am by no means the best, most perfect Fire Mage, whatever you want to call it. No, I make mistakes. So take what I say with this rotation as you will. Go ahead and try out different things with it, but this is what I find that generally works, does some pretty good DPS. First note that I start out with Molten Armor, and I use it till I'm extremely low on mana. So in the event that it is just an 85 that you're killing, it's a little different than a boss simply because you keep cooldowns out of the mix. So let's say this is an 85 mob I want to kill. Like, say, Trash and a Heroic. So you're going to start off with a Scorch, and then follow up with a Living Bomb right after, and then you're going to start spam Frost Firebolt. It's not super hard, and the reason you do Frost Firebolt instead of Fireball is because when you glyph, you're going to have a damage over time effect for Frost Firebolt, which is what you want, especially with that mastery of yours. Also, whenever Living Bomb does fall off, you need to immediately reapply it, such as I'm going to do now. If you're in the middle of casting a Frostbolt, wait for Frostbolt to finish and then do what I call double casting. Critical Mass fell off there, just re-apped it, so I get the increased crit. You'll note that Hot Streak is indeed not proccing very much. There's the first proc, and when you get the first proc of Hot Streak, you want to get the Pyroblast off, be sure the dot is on it, and then you want to use your Combustion, which is going to do an initial amount of damage, and cause very large damage over time. As noted in the guide video, you can see it ticking right there, Combustion. Mine did about 2.5k damage a second for 10 seconds. Pretty damn good. And then now you'll see that I'm getting pretty low on mana, so this is about when I want to do Mage Armor, and I can cast Scorch because we set it to have a 0 mana cost. And not only that, but I find that Scorch likes to crit more often, if not for the simple fact that it's faster, so you have more chances to crit. Once you have enough mana to do something other than Scorch, of course you want to do that. Be sure to keep Living Bomb up as you can, keep all of your dots up as you can. There is the burn spread, I believe. No, it did not spread. Bummer. Distance is a little too much. So that's pretty much what you want to do. You can go Scorch. See, I got 2.1k for a Scorch crit there when Scorch doesn't cost me any mana. Sorry, 2.1k for the Pyroblast. And Scorch crits were getting me about 4k-ish. So that's kind of what you want to do. You'll see my mana is indeed going up. Whenever you get Pyroblast, feel free to use it regardless of mana whenever you get Hot Streak, feel free to use it regardless of mana constraints, because mana is not going to impact it because Hot Streak causes it to be free. There's the spread from impact. See how my dots are on that target and I never fired at it? It's because I had the impact buff that showed up here, and there was the bomb explosion. So, let me get some mana back here, and I will do a quick summary of fire rotation. It's not that hard. The only difference that I would say you would do in a boss fight versus trash fight would be you would do a Scorch, and then you would throw out your Flame Orb, and then you would continue your rotation as per anything else, Living Bomb, and then spam Frost Firebolt till you get Pyroblast crit, at which point that is the signal to do Combustion, and so on and so forth. So let me get my mana up here. Let's have the dummy lose all of its dots. You will notice that Ignite even procs off of dots that crit, which is pretty damn cool. Let's get our correct buffs. Waiting to be out of combat. Here we go. Drink up. Also, when you are in a boss fight, you need to keep in mind the need for Time Warp, and make sure you have enough mana for that when it is called for. Generally, you will, as it's either called for at the start of the fight or at a certain phase, which you'll get to. It's pretty easy to make sure you have mana for that. Also, I would recommend save your mirror image for a point in the battle when a lot of extra DPS is needed. Don't just go using that right off the bat. So, now that we have full mana, I'm going to do a quick summary. What you want to do in the case of killing a single target trash, or even for the most part a raid boss with one or two exceptions, is you want to start out with a Scorch, followed immediately by a Living Bomb, and right after that, go ahead and Frost Firebolt your little hands off. The reason you Scorch first is for critical mass indeed. Living Bomb will explode, follow that up with another Living Bomb. Lots of crits, just keep the Frost Firebolts going. Just wait for your Pyroblast crit. There's the impact signal. And critical mass is about to follow off. Re-app that and just keep going. Really, the only time you want to change what you're doing is when you get the hot streak. That's when you Pyroblast and Combustion. You want to save Combustion till when you actually get a Pyroblast off to optimize the damage output of Combustion. But Fire is fairly easy to have a single target DPS rotation for. Pardon me. Also, it's not as active because I do not have stats that I would be proud to say I have. There is the hot streak, at which point you do your Pyroblast, followed by your Combustion, and back to your original rotation of keeping Living Bomb up and throwing your Frost Firebolts. Very low on mana, this is when you would Mage Armor. Oops, I timed that wrong. Need to have enough mana to cast Mage Armor. And then you would use your Mana Gem and Scorch away. You want to try and keep the dots up as much as possible. It's a very simple rotation, you know, just Scorch, Living Bomb, Frost Firebolt till you get a hot streak, and then Combustion and back to Frost Firebolts and keeping Living Bomb up. Something you do need to be careful of, though, is you need to make sure Living Bomb explodes before you re-app Living Bomb. The timing on that is a little funky sometimes. A lot of times I'll do it like a half second too early and I lose DPS on it, so you want to be real careful with that. But do make sure Living Bomb explodes, and then you cast it. So yeah, this has been a little bit on Fire Mage rotation from Sethaldor of the server Blade's Edge in the guild Sacrilege on the character Arctic Shatter, on the topic of Fire Mage rotations. Thank you for watching, and can't wait to put another one out for you. If you have any requests for videos you'd like to see, please put that on a comment in my channel page. Also, go ahead and check out my blog. There's a link on my channel as well under the websites in the sidebar on the left. Check out my blog. Follow me there on Blogger. You'll get little extra tidbits of information that I'll throw up there, plus maybe some screenshots, pictures, stuff like that, kind of like raid fight maps, stuff like that. Again, thank you for watching. This has been Sethaldor on Fire Mage PvE rotation, and can't wait to put another one out for you. See ya!